The euphoria has given way to gloom. 1.4 billion Indians were left in awe yesterday as Vinesh Phogat crushed her higher-ranked opponents one after the other to put on a show that has been etched in India's collective memory forever. But what unfolded today has been gut-wrenching. She was not beaten by her American opponent for that gold medal. Instead, she was beaten by 100 grams of her own body weight. 100 grams, that is equivalent to a bar of soap, a kiwi fruit, or 100 paper clips. Vinesh Phogat was overweight by 100 grams during her weigh-in today, and she was disqualified. A nation is heartbroken, and tonight we look at every aspect of this story. What could have been done? What could have been avoided? How difficult is weight cutting? How do wrestlers manage weight? And what did the whole team do last night when they found out that Vinesh was 2 kgs overweight? Joining me on the show is Dr. Ashok Ahuja. He's a sports medicine expert. Gaurav Biduri will also be on the show with us. He's an international boxer. Vinayak Padmadev, senior sports journalist. He will also join us on the show. But before we speak to our guests on the panel, let's take you through the news. First, of what really happened. In a heartbreaking twist of fate, Vinesh Phogat was disqualified from the Paris Olympics after she could not make the weight on the morning of her 50-kilogram gold medal bout. The wrestler was roughly 100 grams over the permissible limit, which led to her disqualification. According to competition rules, Phogat was not eligible even for a silver medal. The IOC later confirmed that Phogat will be replaced by Yusnelis Guzman, the Cuban wrestler she defeated in the semi-final in the gold medal bout. Vinesh made the weight for Tuesday's bouts, but as per the rule, wrestlers have to stay within their weight category on both days of the competition, and today morning she was found to be overweight and thus disqualified. Now, through the night, the medical team along with Dr. Dinshaw Padiwala had to run to help her make the weight cut, which included desperate measures like her hair being chopped, her clothes shortened, and tiring sauna procedures, and even blood being taken out. But she just wasn't able to lose the required amount of weight. She didn't sleep through the night, did everything from jogging, skipping to try to lose that weight, but was found to be 100 grams over the permissible limit today morning during the weigh-in. Now, cutting weight, it's a painful process that wrestlers have to endure if their natural body weight is higher than the division in which they compete. Vinesh's natural body weight is about 56-57 kilograms, and it takes massive effort for her to get down to 50 kilograms. While in invitational tournaments, UWW allows for a grace of up to 2 kgs. No such relaxation exists for showpieces like the Olympics, the World Championships, and the Asian Championships. Athletes competing in contact sports go without food and even water 2 days before the weigh-in. Boxer Nikhat Zareen had said after her defeat in Paris that she did not take either food or water for 2 days to stay within that weight limit and lost strength as a result. On Tuesday, Phogat became the first Indian woman wrestler to reach the final of the Olympics. En route to that gold medal bout, she stunned the world #1 and odds-on favourite Yui Sasaki of Japan and followed it up with 2 more tactically brilliant wins over the wrestlers from Ukraine and Cuba. She was scheduled to play Sarah Hildebrand in the final, a wrestler against whom Phogat has a better head-to-head record. So this was a goal for the taking. The entire nation was waiting for this, but in the end, in the most surreal way, something that I'm still finding it difficult to come to terms with, that medal has been snatched away from the Indian. Dr. Ashok Ahuja, let me start with you, sir. Weight cutting is a terrible, terrible process, and as everybody now in India realizes how difficult it is, you can't take away the fact that there's a medal that's been lost because Vinesh Phogat was 100 grams overweight.
Certainly, I think it has been a very, very big tragic moment for the country where an assured medal has been lost. Now, weight cutting or weight control that we call it in our scientific jargons, especially in weight category sports, is very common. And every athlete who's participating in weight category sports is aware of the rules also. So in this case also, only thing is that we have to go slightly behind Vinesh's weight. she was not in her right weight category, because she never qualified for 53 for the reasons that we had already a qualifier by the Antim, you see, who was in 53.
Yes.
So she had to lose weight. Now, I will not know as to what was her weight when she left India for Paris Olympics.
Sure.
I hope it was only around 2 kg or so, then it is more manageable. But if you are in a proper body weight of 57, 58 and cutting it down from 57 to 50 is a huge thing to happen. So, this is a problem. I know we all are getting worked up because it is only 100 grams, you
That's
see,
right.
which has shelved our mission in Olympics also, but that is the rule also.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
all weight category sports have to follow this.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, rules are rules. At the end of the day, 100 grams above the permissible limit is not allowed, and hence she was disqualified. Gaurav Biduri also joins us here. Gaurav, you're a boxer. You're in contact sport. You know what it takes to cut weight. How difficult is it, and how disappointed are you with what has happened? To think that she was in the final, you know, in any other tournament, in any other stage, you could still say, okay, fine, you know, you could accept this disappointment, but the final of an Olympics, it's absolutely incredible what has happened.
Yeah, see, first of all, I would like to tell you guys, like, how tough it is for us to reduce weight during our competitions, okay? So first of all, we use wrong techniques, like we focus on more dehydrating our body and to reduce our weight, okay? But that is not the right way. So I'll share my example. So like when we reduce our weight, our body is so much dehydrated, like when we spit, the spit doesn't come out from our mouth, you know, and our urine, it becomes literally dark, like a red. So you can imagine how dehydrated we are, how much dehydrated हम अपने body को करते हैं. And during competition, like in wrestling, in boxing, like in the morning we have weight we have, and then evening we have fight, evening or afternoon. So if you win that fight, अगले round में पहुंच जाते हैं, then again we have to reduce our weight.
Achha.
The same case happened with Vinesh Phogat. So the problem is, because we have a fight, okay, weight देने के बाद we have to eat a lot because we have to fight and we have to perform. If we win that fight, then we have to reduce that weight because next day हमारी दोबारा fight होगी. So in that we have to give our weight in the morning again. So whole night we dehydrated our body because that is the easiest way to reduce, because within a span of 1 hour we reduce 2 kg of weight in a span of 1 hour. It's basically sweating. So we wear a lot of tracksuits for more sweat. We do sauna and all that. पानी तो बिल्कुल छोड़ देते हैं, लाइक निकलता नहीं मुंह से. हम थूकते हैं तो मुंह से झाग निकलता है. It's like that. So we dehydrate. Then morning में again weight देके फिर हम लड़ते हैं. And then अगर फिर जीत जाते तो फिर हमको पूरी रात पूरी प्रोसेस चलाना पड़ता है. So the 100 grams people are talking about, that 100 grams is like आपकी बॉडी बिल्कुल डिहाइड्रेट हो चुकी है, मुंह में थूक नहीं है. And I'll share our examples, okay? Like हमारा जब 100 ग्राम बचता था ना, हिम्मत बिल्कुल खत्म हो चुकी होती, बिकॉज पूरा डिहाइड्रेट हो चुके हैं. हम लोग क्या करते थे ड्यूरिंग कॉम्पिटिशन, मॉर्निंग में वेट होता तो हम लोग इवन आवर अंडरवेयर्स को निकालते थे, बिकॉज इतनी हिम्मत नहीं होती थी. एंड इफ यू गाइज ऑल्सो इफ यू हैव नोटिस इन UFC फाइट्स, इन प्रोफेशनल फाइट्स, स्टेज के ऊपर होता है तब भी वो लोग इतना 100 ग्राम नहीं कम कर पाते. उनके सामने टावल रखा जाता है एंड दे टेक आउट देयर अंडरगारमेंट्स, बिकॉज वो लास्ट का जो 100 ग्राम होता है ना, वो शेड आउट नहीं हो पाता है क्योंकि बॉडी ऑलरेडी इतनी डिहाइड्रेट कर देती है. दिस इज अ बैड प्रोसेस एक्चुअली, दिस इज नॉट द राइट प्रोसेस. हमें प्रॉपर डाइटिशियन के साथ फॉलो करेंगे, बिकॉज बिफोर आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो दिस प्रोसेस, पसीना निकालने वाला. आफ्टर माय वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप मेडल, बिफोर वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप मेडल, आई स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग माय प्रॉपर डाइट, कितना खाना है, कितना निकालना है. तो इन दैट वे माय बॉडी डिहाइड्रेट नहीं होती थी.
काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव होता है ना पर एक तरह से गौरव, की आप अपनी वेट को कम करते जा रहे हो, पर आपको फाइट भी करना है, आपको अपने अपोनेंट को ग्रैपल करना है, या बॉक्सिंग में आपको उनको हराना है, तो आपको वो भी करना है, पर वजन भी बिल्कुल कम रखना है. तो और मतलब अगर आप इतने डिहाइड्रेट हो जाते हो तो कहाँ से आप फोकस कर पाओगे, कहाँ से आपके जो मूवमेंट है, मोटर स्किल्स है, वो कैसे काम करती है. ये एक बड़ी सरप्राइजिंग चीज है, शॉकिंग चीज है कि कैसे वो करते हैं फिर।
मैम सी, ये एक बहुत अनहेल्दी तरीका है जो हम लोग वेट रिड्यूस करते हैं, बेसिकली स्वेटिंग के थ्रू। आप जो बोल रहे हो सारे रीजन होते हैं, समटाइम्स हमारी परफॉर्मेंस भी नहीं आती बिकॉज इतना डिहाइड्रेट हो जाती है बॉडी, इतना स्पाज्म आ जाता है, लाइक बॉडी चलती नहीं है। वो स्पीड जो हम ट्रेनिंग में करते थे, वो परफॉर्मेंस जो हमारी कैंप्स में होती थी, वो हमारी आती नहीं बिकॉज बॉडी इतनी डिहाइड्रेट हो जाती है। बट एक्चुअली दिस इज नॉट द राइट वे टू रिड्यूस आवर वेट। हमको विद स्पैन ऑफ 3-4 मंथ्स हमको कंट्रोल करना पड़ता है, हमारा खाना, हमारा क्या पी रहे हैं, कितना खा रहे हैं, कितना ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं। ऑन दैट बेसिस हमको सजेस्ट किया जाता है कि आप इतना ट्रेनिंग करो, इतना खाओ। अगर वो फॉलो नहीं करेंगे तो लास्ट मोमेंट में अगर हम वेट रिड्यूस करेंगे तो दिस गोना हैपन, जहाँ पे हम बॉडी बिल्कुल डिहाइड्रेट हो चुकी है, वी कांट परफॉर्म। एंड
पर एक
अभी
बात
आपके
बताओ
सामने
गौरव,
रिजल्ट है ना।
मानती हूँ मैं, ये बात मानती हूँ कि बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। आपका ऑलरेडी आपका जो फैट परसेंटेज है आपकी बॉडी का वो सिंगल डिजिट में है। आप जैसे कह रहे हैं आपका जो सलाइवा भी है वो भी नहीं निकल रहा है, बट आप ओलंपिक के फाइनल में भी हो, आपके साथ वर्ल्ड के बेस्ट डॉक्टर्स हैं, मेडिकल टीम है वहाँ पर, पूरा आईओए लगा हुआ है। तो मतलब मैं सिर्फ एक ये जानने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, डिफिकल्ट होता है पर दूसरे एथलीट्स भी कर रहे हैं, दूसरे रेसलर्स भी कर रहे हैं, दूसरे बॉक्सर्स भी कर रहे हैं। कहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि कुछ सही नहीं बैठा इस पूरे केस में कि इस वजह से हम मेडल नहीं ला पाए?
मानसी, मैं यही बात करना चाह रहा था क्योंकि हमारा जो प्रोसेस चलता हुआ है ना, हमारा जो शुरू से ही कि हम लोग पसीने से वेट कम करते हैं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा पसीना निकाल के वी रिड्यूस आवर वेट, बट दैट इज अनहेल्दी वे ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग आवर वेट। जो आप कह रहे हो और एथलीट्स के बारे में, जितने भी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज हैं वो लोग, मैं जो बता रहा हूँ, प्रॉपर डाइट फॉलो करते हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि लास्ट मोमेंट में हम एकदम वेट करते देन उस जब परफॉर्मेंस का टाइम आता है, जब उनकी बॉडी वो स्वेट से वेट कम करने की जरूरत पड़ती है, नहीं बिकॉज उनकी बॉडी यूज हो जाती है द वेट दे आर परफॉर्मिंग इन। तो हमारी जो कमी आई है वो हमको पहले से मेंटेन करके वेट चलना चाहिए था विद द हेल्प ऑफ आवर डाइटिशियन, न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट, विद द हेल्प ऑफ देम हमको पहले से कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए था कि लास्ट में हमारी ऐसी नौबत ना आए कि हमको पसीना निकाल के या डिहाइड्रेट होके वेट कम करना पड़ रहा है। तो समवेयर हमारी कहीं ना कहीं चूक हुई है जो हम अभी हमने जो मेडल खोया है।
जी, but Vinayak also joins us now. Vinayak, you and I have been talking since morning. I mean, we did a show in the morning where we were celebrating what could possibly have been the biggest achievement by Vinesh Phogat as an Indian woman wrestler. And then we also sat on the disappointment, the heartbreaking news that was coming out of Paris in the afternoon. You've had some time to look back at everything that happened. You've had some time to speak to your sources, in Paris. And you were saying that this is shocking. Somebody needs to be held accountable. What are your thoughts now? Where did they go wrong?
Meha, first of all, thank you for having me here again. Where did they go wrong was, I think, the monitoring of it, and some of it has been explained to us by Gaurav Bidhuria, former world championship medalist.
Yeah.
And he's right. There is a right way to cut weight. I mean, all of a sudden, the drastic weight cuts will obviously leave you dehydrated, and exactly what happened with Vinesh today. Now, we have been talking about her weight issues and so forth. 50 is not her weight category at all. Like Dr. Ahuja also sort of said, it's not natural. So for somebody who's 56, 57 kilos, for her to come down 7 kilos is not correct thing to do. And going into the Olympics, I'm sure Vinesh and her support staff, including the foreign coach that she's attached to, Waller Akos, they would know that they're taking the biggest risk of their lives. And I'll be very honest with you, Meha, I was more worried about her failing the weight yesterday than today, because I knew she has issues during weighings and all, because there is only so much that she can shed from her body. There is hardly any, like you said, her fat content of the body is only like single digits. So where will she lose the weight? And it is normal, because once you dehydrate that the way that she did yesterday, she'll have to rehydrate again to get her energy back to match the opponent's strength and everything, which she did. And my only issue here is, obviously, it was all known that it was, cut to cut, and she'll gain some weight because she has to rehydrate and all. Why was her weight not monitored throughout the day? Where was the need for her to wake up throughout the night to run the saunas, do her runnings? We saw the footage of her skipping right after her semi-final win and all. There was no need for this to happen because this situation was always going to play out because her weight is not this. So my only issue is, why was her weight not monitored, which is what happens in every competition.
Yeah, and this is elite sport. So you're competing at the Olympics. This is not some tournament happening in your backyard. There's a sports science expert who's been monitoring her progress since her surgery. There is a physiotherapist there. There's a strength and conditioning coach. There's, of course, Dr. Dinshaw Pardiwala, who operated on her ACL tear. So there are experts in their fields who are there who should have monitored this better. Vinayak, I'm just going to come to you, but let's also just listen into what Dr. Dinshaw Pardiwala had to say about the whole incident, what happened last night. He is the Indian team's medical doctor in Paris. Listen in.
Now, this process of weight cut involves a calculated restriction of food and water, and we also involve a lot of excessive sweating, which is done with exercise, with sauna, with steam, and thereby we achieve that weight cut prior to the morning weigh-in. Now, this weight cut causes weakness and causes some amount of energy depletion, and this is really counterproductive to participation. And hence, for participation, we do need to then restore energy with some amounts of water and some amounts of energy foods. So you can see this is a fine balance. If you can reduce your weight, you're going to be fighting with less stronger opponents. So most wrestlers prefer that. But at the same time, you have to have a strategy which you are going to be able to get back your energy with enough water depletion, with enough water restoration and food. Now, this is typically calculated by the team with that wrestler. So Vinesh's nutritionist and team had calculated this to be about 1.5 kgs, and this is a team that's been working with her since many years, and she's extremely comfortable with that team, and this has actually worked with her in the past. So she took in that 1.5 kgs, which is necessary for her to be able to fight those 3 bouts. And I think it's important to remember that usually once you have this weight loss, it's by dehydration. So as soon as you take water, there's going to be a rebound increase in your weight. And during the bouts, because she had 3 really difficult bouts, she did need to have some amount of water, because you do want to rehydrate, because otherwise it's going to be medically a problem to participate. So you do require some amount of nutrition and some amount of water. Now, her post-participation weight at the end of the semi-finals in the evening was found to be 2.7 kilograms more than the allowed weight. And the team and the coach started off their usual process, which is of course limitation of water, no food, and you started with the whole process of sweating it out. And typically, you require some amount of time for that, but unfortunately we didn't have too much time. We had just 12 hours. So the whole night, the entire team, went ahead with this whole process of trying to reduce her weight, putting her in a steam and sauna, making her exercise, and whatever was medically possible, we tried our best to try and get that weight down. And when she couldn't sweat anymore, we even had to go to some drastic measures like cutting off her hair, and they wear a vest, so we shortened that vest, so even a few milligrams if we can reduce, we tried. And despite all of this, at about 7:15 to 7:30 is the weigh-in, and we wanted to try the best, so we got her weight done right at the end at around 7:29. It was unfortunately 100 grams over 50 kilograms. If we maybe had a few hours more, we could have achieved that 100 grams, but we just didn't have that time. Now, once she was disqualified, then the question was, as a precautionary measure, we do need to rehydrate her. And the best way to rehydrate an athlete is by giving an intravenous fluid. So we gave her a few intravenous fluids. She started eating and drinking. She's passed urine, and she's otherwise perfectly normal physically and medically. We've got her blood tests done just as a precautionary measure. We always do that. That's a routine. And those blood tests are also okay. And Vinesh, of course, has interacted with IOA President Dr. Mrs. P.T. Usha, and she's told her that, look, physically and medically I'm okay, but of course, undoubtedly she's disappointed. This is her third Olympics. She was really keen to try and do something for the country, but because of this 100 grams has been disqualified.
First of all, just to see her smile in that photograph, she's managing a smile. Let me say that she must be feeling the worst. None of us know what she must be feeling at the moment, or what she felt through the night as she tried to get that weight down. She wanted it more desperately than everybody else. She knew that she had to lose that weight, and she tried everything and couldn't do it. So hats off to her. She will remain a champion. She is India's champion. Having said that, you heard the whole process, Dr. Ahuja. What could have been done differently?
See, after her 3 gruesome bouts, which she won beautifully, technically she was so strong. But the body weight which has come up after that is 2.7 kg is very, very alarming.
Yeah.
Now, this again reflects to it that probably on the day 1, that was yesterday morning, she was just 50 only. Had she come to 48 in her preceding 2 days or so, then probably that jump of 2.7 kg would not have happened. See, what is happening is that metabolically every human body is different. You develop different kinds of water generation after such a big strenuous exercise of fighting at the Olympic level or so. And that is what has resulted in then cutting from 2.7 kg and reaching up to 100 is a good, and that's the normal way that every athlete, every player does it or so, by means of sauna suits, steam suits, and even sleeping with 4 quilts also, we have seen it also, and then jogging, skipping, running, swimming, everything we do it. Of course, swimming very restricted, that we don't let even the sportsmen put their mouth under the water even or so. So all those drastic measures are normally taken, but that is only when you have about a kg or point. Invariably, we see when we land over there, we have now here in Olympics, we got a lot of time to prepare ourselves. Otherwise, when we used to go for our international competitions, we will just land, and after about 5 or 6 hours, we had to go in for our weigh-in. The flight landed over there, and I remember sometimes in Seoul, it happened like that, you see.
Yeah.
So these are the various measures. I think the team management must have done it. I don't know what was the nutrition which was given. We have yet to receive all the reports from there. And because it is again the theory of intake versus output. See, how much you have to take it, how much you have been able to generate it. Scientifically, we have to see all those things.
And like Vinayak was also saying, sir, that what about monitoring the process? That's what you're also saying, that, what was given to her, that her weight increased by 2.7 kilograms, and that was difficult for her to then lose through the night. What was the need of that? And was there a nutrition expert with her, guiding her through the way? But it seems like it had worked before for her, and this time it just didn't. Gaurav, if he's still with us, Gaurav, एक और चीज़ मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि अब ये भी बात कही जा रही है कि क्या ये जो ड्रॉप किया है, अब वेट कटिंग की बात समझ में आती है कि भाई आपके जो अपोनेंट्स हैं वो उनसे आपका थोड़ा सा इजी हो जाता है, कम वेट वाले अपोनेंट से आप मिलते हो तो आपका वेट अगर उसमें ज़्यादा होता है तो वो मैं समझती हूँ, पर उसके बावजूद 53 से 50 में आने में क्या वो भी एक जो डिसीजन था, शायद अब जब क्योंकि हमारे पास पोस्ट फैक्टो हाइंडसाइट का एक वो बेनिफिट एडवांटेज है, तो लगता है कि मे बी दैट वाज़न्ट द राइट डिसीजन, क्योंकि पहले भी वो ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर में भी जस्ट मैनेज किया है उन्होंने वेन, मतलब अपना वेट।
मैम देखिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आप कम वेट में आएंगे तो बेकार बॉक्सर जाते हैं या बेकार रेसलर जाते हैं। हमको अपनी बॉडी का पता होता है, हाउ मच पावर वी हैव, हाउ मच कैपेबिलिटी वी हैव, सो अकॉर्डिंगली वी प्लान। ऐसा नहीं हमें स्टेट में खेलना है या इंडिया में खेलना है, हमें आगे का सब कुछ सब लोगों को देख के वी डिसाइड आवर वेट कैटेगरीज। सेकेंडली आई वांट टू से लाइक पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कि भाई 2.5 किलो 2.7 kg कैसे बढ़ गया। तो आई वांट टू ब्रिंग टू नोटिस जो दिस अनहेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल व्हिच वी मोस्ट ऑफ द एथलीट्स आर फॉलोइंग, डिहाइड्रेटिंग आवर बॉडी, इज बेसिकली पानी निकल रहा है बॉडी से। वी हैव वाटर, लाइक मैं आपको बताऊंगा, अगर आई हैव रिड्यूस्ड 2 kg थ्रू स्वेट, I'll have 2 liters of water, it will increase 2 liter, means 2 kg immediately, because बॉडी डिहाइड्रेट हो चुकी है। नॉर्मल बॉडी में अगर हम 2 लीटर पानी पियेंगे वो वेट नहीं बढ़ाएगा, इट विल गो थ्रू यूरिन। बट व्हेन बॉडी इज डिहाइड्रेटेड, उसमें सारी बॉडी एब्जॉर्ब कर लेती है, तो 2 लीटर पानी पियेंगे ना 2 किलो बढ़ा देगी। तो वो जो 2.7 का वो जो बता रहे हैं, दैट इज बिकॉज उस टाइम बॉडी डिहाइड्रेटेड, आप थोड़ा भी पानी पियोगे उतना ही वेट बढ़ाएगी वो, बिकॉज यूरिन में कुछ निकलेगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज पहले बॉडी तो एब्जॉर्ब करे जो वट एवर पानी जो बॉडी का भी रिक्वायरमेंट है वो तो पूरा हो, तब जाके यूरिन आएगा। तो बॉडी एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते चाहे 2 लीटर पानी पियो। तो 2.5 kg ये सब बढ़ना बहुत ईजी है। अल्टीमेट थिंग विच वी शुड वर्क ऑन इज प्रॉपर वे ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग वेट, नॉट थ्रू स्वेट, नॉट थ्रू डिहाइड्रेटिंग आवर बॉडी। और जो एथलीट्स आपने किसी को नहीं देखा होगा, जो हमारे इंडियन एथलीट्स हैं, बी इट रेसलर्स, बॉक्सर्स और एनी अदर कॉम्बैट स्पोर्ट्स, दे जस्ट स्वेट लाइक एनीथिंग। अगर आप किसी और एथलीट्स को देखोगे वहाँ पे गेम्स विलेज में और भी लोग होंगे, वो इतने पागल कोई नहीं होते। नॉर्मली दे हैविंग प्रॉपर फूड, दे हैविंग प्रॉपर अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर।
तो ये हमें क्यों करना पड़ता है? आपको ये क्यों लगता है कि हम उसे नहीं फॉलो करते, जब हमारे पास इतना सब कुछ है, हमारे पास हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स इतने शानदार है। वेन लॉम्बार्ड हमारे स्पोर्ट्स साइंस एक्सपर्ट है वहाँ पर। मतलब आप अब ऐसी एक कंट्री की बात कर रहे हो जो बहुत कुछ स्पोर्ट्स में करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, राइट, इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स साइंस, इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स मेडिसिन। तो हम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं?
मैम, हम लोगों की जो मेंटालिटी है ना, वो पुराने स्टाइल वाली चल रखी है अभी कि पसीना निकालना है, मेहनत करना है पागलों की तरह। आप किसी भी कंट्री में जाके देखेंगे ना प्लेयर्स को, इवन आई प्लेड फॉर यूएसए टीम एंड इटालियन टीम, आई स्टेड विद देम फॉर 3-4-5 months ओवर देयर, आई ट्रेन विद देम। उनकी जो ट्रेनिंग होती है, इट्स ऑनली जितनी हमें जरूरत होती है। हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है, सिर्फ रगड़ते हैं ना, जब तक आप पूरा वॉश आउट ना हो जाओ, यू डिड नॉट डू योर ट्रेनिंग, हमारे ऐसा माना जाता है। तो यहाँ पे जो पसीना निकाल के ही बस वेट तोड़ने लोगों को आता है, नॉट विद हैविंग प्रॉपर फूड, प्रॉपर डाइट फॉलो करना ना, हर चीज वो वी डोंट फॉलो दैट, बिकॉज पहले से ही वो चलता हुआ आ रहा है कि भाई लास्ट मोमेंट में हम लोग 3-4 kg कम कर देंगे, परफॉर्मेंस आ जाती है, बट समटाइम्स लाइक इन दिस केस बॉडी सपोर्ट नहीं कर पाती है। तो वी हैव टू फॉलो दैट रूटीन, मीन्स मतलब वो सबके साथ लाना चाहिए कि भाई वी हैव टू रिड्यूस वेट विदाउट फूड, विदाउट न्यूट्रिशन डाइट ना, जो न्यूट्रिशन वाले जो डाइट है वो फॉलो करके हमें वेट कम कंट्रोल करना है, ना कि डिहाइड्रेट करके। दैट इज द मेन रीजन, हम लोगों को फॉलो करना चाहिए। आई हैव फॉलोड दैट, आई एम द लाइव एग्जांपल। मैं भी 2016-15 से पहले मैं भी सेम यही था, पसीना निकाल के। उसके बाद 2016 के बाद आई हैड प्रॉपर डाइट। लोग मेरे से पूछते थे, गौरव ऐसे कैसे कर रहा, तू तो पसीना निकालता है नहीं, तू तो। आई जस्ट ट्रेन इन माई ओनली वन वेस्ट, कोई स्वेट ट्रैक सूट नहीं, कुछ नहीं। सब लोग वरीड रहते थे कैंप में, नेशनल कैंप में, लाइक गौरव यू हाउ कम यू आर डूइंग दिस, मतलब वेट कैसे कम कर लेते हो यार, हम लोग तो इतना पसीना निकालते, तुम पसीना भी नहीं निकालते। आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो, आई हैड अ प्रॉपर डाइटिशियन हु यूज्ड टू गाइड एंड मॉनिटर एवरी सिंगल डे, आप क्या खा रहे हो, आपने इतना खाया है, आपने इतनी ट्रेनिंग करी है, तो आज इसमें कार्ब इतना लेना है, प्रोटीन इतना लेना है। आई वाज गाइडेड, आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो दैट। एंड मैंने 3 साल मैंने 5-5, 6-6 किलोग्राम वेट कम किया है, एंड आई डिड नॉट वियर अ सिंगल अपर, बस वेस्ट में ट्रेनिंग करता था। पसीना जो नॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग आ रहा है, अच्छी ट्रेनिंग होती थी, ट्रेनिंग भी नहीं कर पाते हैं।
Okay, I think the network's not.
हम लोग में
seems like there's a problem with the network with Gaurav's connection. Gaurav, but I know you have to leave, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time and for putting this in perspective for us. And very rightly said कि जो पुराना एक जो हमारा माइंडसेट है उसको चेंज करना पड़ेगा। जिस तरीके से आप some of the countries that are doing well, that are at the top of the games, how they are dealing with this, we need to do the same thing. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for taking the time out. Okay, now you've seen visuals of Vinesh Phogat, of course, trying everything to lose those 100 grams. And then there is also one picture of her smiling as she meets IOA President PT Usha. This is what PT Usha had to say after she met her.
They'll go on rules only, but we have done from our part, we have done our best through world, through that wrestling federation, and then even I am going to meet the world wrestling federation president also just now, doing our best. So I met her and she was so strong, na? That is why she could do there, and even from there also she is strong, but she's done her best, I think, to reduce the weight, what I felt best. But even for hair also they have cut, no?
Vinayak, I want to ask you a question on what Gaurav was suggesting, that, is it the mindset of Indian boxers, Indian wrestlers, ki hum baad mein, we are going to lose weight right towards the end? Could this have been done differently, like Gaurav was suggesting? Is there a better way, a healthier way that we need to, of course, adopt, but at the same time, think of it in that way? Is that something we need to do?
No, Meha, generally Gaurav was making a very valid point. The way we lose weight in all the contact sports that our athletes take part in. But here, Vinesh's case is slightly different. I've been drumming this all throughout this morning with you and everybody else, that this was a high-risk game that Vinesh and her management took. They always knew that this is not her weight, and there is a like 6-7 kilo weight differential that she is going down to. So it was always touch and go. So this is a very different case to other athletes which Gaurav was talking about. Now, okay, she made the weight yesterday, but obviously she'll gain weight, right? Because, I mean, like Dr. Dinshaw Pardiwala explained very wonderfully to everybody, that obviously she needs to rehydrate, she needs to take some nutrition, she needs to fight, and that's how she gained weight. So, I don't think the issue here is how our athletes or Vinesh in this instance are trying to like shed weight and all, whether it's scientific or not. Her problem here was weight management, because there was 6 to 7 kilo weight differential from her normal average weight.
Dr. Ahuja, the other thing is this kind of weight cutting, though, unhealthy. I mean, it can affect your kidneys. I was reading about it, that, this rapid water loss and then recovery itself, because it's almost like a sponge where the water loss is quick, but getting the water back into your system takes a bit of time, and that impacts your body in a huge way. How dangerous is that for athletes? And, is there another way out of this?
No, I think, yes, as Gaurav was also pointing it out, the way is only not by dehydrating yourself. Dehydration leads, you see, the water out of your tissues, the water. And that's why, you regain, whatever water you are regaining, it goes into your tissues immediately, because it has to replenish it and bring it at that particular store. Dehydration leads to a lot of muscle weaknesses, cramps, you see. It can affect your kidneys, it can affect your heart even, you see. Even so much so the scientific literature shows that dehydration can even cause strokes also. So such drastic measures should not be taken by our sports people. That is, I think, the way to learn also. And long-term planning has to be done. In case you have to control your body weight, and ideally, scientifically, we always say that whatever weight category in which you are going to fight, you should never be more than 1.5 kg. That is what we call it as a training weight for that. So if you are in 50, you should not be more than 51.2, 51.5. That is your weight. so that you are able to cut it down between at least for 3 to 4 days that you have it before the competition, and then you are able to practice it also fully. You are able to have all your nutrition, energy, all the calories also, and also then practice it also. After all, you have to perform. Here you have not to survive only, you are a performing athlete over there, and it affects the performance also, and keeping in mind all these medical conditions which can affect a human body, you see.
Well, it was a disappointing day. It was a heartbreaking day, and also, Vinayak, as we've been saying since morning, you know, in the backdrop of all that she was fighting for, you know, for this larger cause that I've been saying, that it wasn't just her wanting to win a gold medal at the Olympics for herself, but the future generation of wrestlers, young girls who want to take to wrestling, to say that even if you take on the might of someone like Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, after having slept on the pavement in the national capital for 40 days, being roughed up by the cops, you know, almost close to immersing your medals in Ganga, and you fight all the challenges, you know, work against those odds, and you reach the final. So there's that, you know, the legacy that she was trying to create. Keeping that in mind, where do you see this, you know, her campaign ending in such a manner?
Again, I mean, I don't know how I can put it, Meha, because this is the third straight Olympics where scenario has happened wherein she was shot to win a medal, and all of a sudden it's gone. Right now, Rio, she got injured in the quarterfinal. We all saw that. That was the biggest heartbreak. In Tokyo, she couldn't perform because I don't think she was match fit that much. Here, she looked like the winner, and yet again, I mean, all of a sudden, she gets, you know, disqualified for like 100 grams and all. So, I mean, I don't think it'll taint her legacy and all, because she's a winner. We all know that. The country knows that. And she's fought for issues which is very dear to a lot of us. So in that sense, her legacy stays. But as a wrestler, this is the only medal that is not there in a trophy cabinet.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it will be. But I don't think her legacy will be tainted and all. Yeah, we were all disappointed, and I've been asking for a full inquiry as to why everything was not monitored. Who's to be blamed? Somebody has to be held accountable here, because I mean, she's traveling with a group of 5, you know, support staff. So, and they have been doing it over the years. So here, obviously, there is some oversight here that needs to be investigated, and somebody has to be held accountable here. But other than that, I don't think her legacy will be tainted at all.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the social media. Everybody is trying to support her. You know, PM tweeted that you're one of our strong athletes, come back stronger, and so forth. Everybody is supporting. I mean, nobody's. I mean, of course, there will be few trolls who will, you know.
There are always conspiracy theories, and they're doing the rounds. But let's be clear: there was no conspiracy behind this. We do need to see the people who should be held accountable for this, because just because you don't want something like this to be repeated, you don't want something like this happening again with any Indian athlete. But having said that, I think there is no conspiracy there, and definitely there is absolutely no need to politicize this whole situation. She's, like you were saying rightly, she was a champion, and she'll remain a champion with or without a medal. Though you've got to think about this. This was her last chance, Vinayak. I mean, I'm looking at LA 2028. She's going to be 34. She's already got medals in Asian Championships, Commonwealth Games, World Championships. This was all that she wanted.
You know, whatever little I know about Vinesh, I mean, I think she'll not give it away. I think she'll do everything in her powers. She has the tools to do it. And if she stays fit, you never know. We'll be talking about her winning medal in LA 2028, Maya. So she's very determined. She's one stubborn Indian athlete that I know. She's very, very stubborn. She puts her mind on something, she goes for it.
That's exactly, I think Bajrang Punia was asked about this and he says, बहुत ज़िद्दी है. That works for her. So hopefully that zid can take her to the LA Olympics in 2028. Okay, now let's also listen into what Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia had to say about this whole incident.
भारतीय रेसलर विनेश फोगाट को तय कैटेगरी में ज़्यादा वजन 100 ग्राम होने की वजह से पेरिस ओलंपिक से बाहर होना पड़ा है। विनेश 50 केजी की कैटेगरी में खेल रही थी। स्पर्धा के लिए विनेश का वजन 50 किलोग्राम होना अनिवार्य था। यूडब्ल्यूडब्ल्यू के नियमों और विनियमों के अनुसार सभी प्रतियोगिताओं के लिए संबंधित श्रेणी के लिए प्रत्येक सुबह वजन माप का आयोजन किया जाता है। अनुच्छेद 11 के अनुसार यदि कोई एथलीट वजन माप प्रथम अथवा द्वितीय में भाग नहीं लेता है अथवा असफल हो जाता है तो उसे प्रतियोगिता से बाहर कर दिया जाता है और बिना किसी रैंक के अंतिम स्थान पर रखा जाता है। 7 अगस्त 2024 को 50 किलोग्राम महिला कुश्ती के लिए वजन का निर्धारण 7:15 और 7:30 पेरिस समय के अनुसार रेपोचेज और फाइनल में भाग लेने वाले पहलवानों के लिए किया गया था। विनेश का वजन 50 किलो 100 ग्राम पाया गया, इसलिए वे स्पर्धा के लिए अयोग्य घोषित की गई। इस मामले को लेकर भारतीय ओलंपिक संघ ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कुश्ती संघ से कड़ा विरोध भी दर्ज किया है। नेशनल भारतीय ओलंपिक संघ की अध्यक्षा पीटी उषा भी अभी पेरिस में है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वयं उसके साथ बातचीत करके उचित कार्यवाही करने के लिए, उचित एक्शन लेने के लिए भी उसको कहा गया है।
You know, I've come to the end of this segment, Vinayak, but I think we've still got to celebrate this wonderful athlete. Your last words before we wrap this show up. Yes, she may not have got a medal. Yes, it was the most bizarre way in which she lost out on a gold, possibly a gold. I think she was favourite to win a gold. Last words for Vinesh.
Well, pretty fortunate that she'll come back without a medal, but in my mind, in my heart, for a lot of Indian fans, she stays a winner. She will be a winner. I'll not be surprised to see her fighting in LA 2028.
Absolutely, she's a brave heart and she'll remain a champion. I'm going to give you the last word, Doctor. Your last thoughts on Vinesh.
Well, she is a determined athlete. There's no doubt about that. And LA 28 is not far.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she will come out there. But we need to take the help of sports medicine and sciences more and more and go into the microscopically every aspect of nutrition, of injuries, every aspect, psychology, everything is so vital when you talk at this level for any podium finish.
Absolutely. So if India wants more medals, every aspect of sports is to be taken seriously, not just, working with the athletes in terms of their training, in terms of infrastructure, but also sports science, sports medicine, even artificial intelligence right now that is making huge waves in sports at the moment. So everything needs to be taken more seriously so that our athletes can perform better at the international level so that they can do well in the Olympic Games. This wasn't meant to be, but as we've been saying, Vinesh Phogat is a champion. She'll remain a champion with or without a medal, and hopefully she'll come back stronger in LA in 2028. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahuja, for joining us here, for talking to us. Vinayak Padmadev, you've been our find of the Olympics, as I've been saying. It's so much fun talking to you on all our shows. Thank you once again. We're going to slip into a short break. When we come back, just a little bit more on this show, so stay with us.
Hey, careful, huh? My daddy got it from abroad.